Hi, my name is Brandy Roris. I was born hearing. Around age 5 or 6, I contracted spinal meningitis and I became very, very sick for that period of time. I became completely deaf. I couldn't hear at all. But they left me in my classroom because I could hear some for the start of it. Most of my education was mainstream. It was taught orally. There were some other hard of hearing students, and I learned sign from those kids. We had the deaf class and we had the regular class, but I was mainstreamed throughout my entire education. I went to NTID and I studied social work. I moved here to Kansas City after we were married, and I worked for Sprint for about 11 years. We have 3 children now. We have Blake, who is 5, Chase, who is 3, and recently my other son, Austin, who is 7 months. We made a big change. We moved to Sioux Falls about 4 or 5 months ago, and I work for CSD in the marketing department. Hi, my name is Tim, and I was born deaf. There are 4 generations of deaf people in my family. I graduated from the Arizona School for the Deaf, and then I went to Gallaudet and got my bachelor's degree in government. I worked for the government in 1998, and then we moved to Kansas City. I had a job offer in Sioux Falls for the interpreting with video relay and VRS, so we moved there. With our first pregnancy, we tried for many, many years. We struggled with getting pregnant. We went to many different doctors, but no one could really find a problem. They did a lot of tests, but they told us everything was fine, and we needed to keep trying. But no one could find anything that was wrong. So, there were many different options. You could try drugs, but some of them didn't work, and there was always that risk that you could get ovarian cancer, and it was an increased risk too. So if you didn't become pregnant with the drug, then there was an increased risk with the ovarian cancer, and that always worried me. Another option was in vitro fertilization, and that, seems a little better. So we tried that, and on our first try, we became pregnant, and it was, it was very, very exciting for me because we had tried for so long, for so many years, and finally it happened. So I went about, we were very excited. I just didn't like the pregnancy clothes, but I guess that comes with it. So I think my first pregnancy was my best one just because I was so excited, and there was so much to do, and Tim treated me like a queen. I guess he didn't really know what to do, so it was very, very exciting. Around April 1st, I don't know, maybe it was about 28 weeks into the pregnancy, I went to the doctor because I was having contractions. And, he told us to continue. It was going to be fine. Then the nurses said that, he wasn't available, so we would go home, we would rest. But, I told the nurse, I said, I can't go rest. I have a conference call I have to get to. I promise I'll go home after the conference call. I promise. So finally, we just went back and forth with that. Finally, she said, okay, fine. Go to your conference call, and then after, you need to go home. If you keep feeling contractions, you need to call us. So I go into the conference call, and every time I would start feeling contractions, and I would be like, oh, wait, hold on. And then we'd go back. So after that, it was an awful experience with the conference call, just with the contractions butting in every single time. There was one drug that we used to help subside with the contractions, but what happened was it was messing with my vision. And the interpreter literally had to be right in front of my face in order for me to see anything. So I told him, I said, this is awful. You have to stop. So 2 or 3 days later, I'm at home, I'm resting. Throughout the night, I'm fine. And I started feeling contractions again. So around 38 weeks, I started feeling contractions, and we went back to the doctor, and the doctor sent her back home. Tim asks, "Isn't that when you ate the pickles because you thought it would start the childbirth?" No, she says, that's when I ate the jalapenos because you said it would work. Anyways, I called the doctor because I had been home for so long, and I can't sit at home and do nothing. So I called him. I said, this needs to be done now. You have to induce me. So we went into the hospital around 6 in the morning. They broke my water around 7:30. Or, I remember that I felt the contractions, and, they were fine. And then when they broke my water, it was all of a sudden, there was just this large amount of pain. And what was that? Why does it hurt so much? And the interpreter said, well, your water broke. And I told them, I need that epidural now. So they were squeezing the IV bag, trying to get all the water out. And so they're squeezing it out. And finally, when it was done, they gave me the epidural, and I felt much better. My son was born around 11. It was a very, very fast delivery. Everything just went so fast. It really was a amazing experience.